To thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous...
Yeah, as of yesterday afternoon, I heard there were already 500 players in the college basketball portal. It had been open for a few hours. And here you go. 2 Lobos in it, or former Lobos now, Quentin Webb and Shane Dumas-Sanchez. I don't think either are a surprise to you. And you're watching all the stars of the Mountain West, Nick Davidson, Obi Ogjim from Wyoming, Magungwath, Nick Boyd from San Diego State. And so it goes. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Tuesday. Bright sunshine for you here on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
You all right?
All right.
All right, no news on coaching search at Villanova. Now, you can take this 2 ways. And I think Global Fan is already kind of looking at it one of 2 ways. Because things are happening so quickly. You watch Josh Pastner, which I think is a great hire if that's where UNLV goes. Go to UNLV. You're watching jobs fill. Either you think that Villanova's holding out for Kevin Willard, the Maryland coach, to complete his run, or as the text line says, and I don't know that I think it's done, text line says Pitino to Villanova, hearing it's done and will be formalized on April 1st, since that's when his buyout drops significantly. Hope it's not true, but sounding more true than not true. Do you feel that the longer it goes, the better it is for Lobo fan that Richard's going to stay, or the longer it goes, they're just waiting for the buyout? I don't know. You can read it either way.
You can read it either way. I don't think one or the other means anything at this point in time. The reality is, until that job is filled, that's the only one you're looking at right now, thinking that's what could get your coach to leave.
I think that's right. Virginia filled, Nate Odom went there. Iowa filled, McCollum from Drake went there. Minnesota filled, Nico Medved went there. Xavier's looking for a coach because Texas took their coach, Sean Miller. I don't think Xavier's the spot. I don't. I know Xavier people think that it is because it's Big East. I don't know. Maybe it is, but I just don't. Villanova's the one that you're going, okay. And if I'm not mistaken, their former coach was making north of $4 million. And there's nothing you can do about that, if that, in fact, is the way it is. So we'll watch it, and obviously that may trigger what happens portal-wise with the Lobo basketball team, right?
Of course. If your coach leaves, you have to expect an entire roster is going to put their name in the portal to see what happens.
You know, I was looking at numbers, and I don't know how many college basketball players there were. I know that number somewhere. This says FBS scholarship, so that's got to be football. But in the 23-24 year, do you know how many players were in the portal? Do you have an idea? Football players. Because people lose their mind around here. Oh, we're losing 900. Players. 900? Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. 2,707. 2,700 football players in 23-24 were in the portal. The total number of NCAA football players across all divisions who entered the portal exceeded 11,000. So everybody's, we can't keep this guy. Oh, he's in the portal. Where's that? Dude, everybody's dealing with it. Now, you're dealing with it at the Mountain West level, at a level, a different level maybe than, some of the others. But everybody's losing players.
Everyone's losing their good players. And until there's a universal thing it has to be college athletics and then essentially salary caps for conferences. You can complain all you want about buyouts, this or that, but until there's like a universal thing in Division I basketball where there's contracts, there's buyouts, things are tradable, like this is the world you're living
in. The portal opens during the tournament, which is, again, even the coaches, this is like bowl season to me. I just, for the life of me, don't understand it. Why it's opening during the tournament. Why it opens during bowl. I understand bowl season almost more because of the school schedule, the academic schedule, right? But this one I don't. There's a website, Philadelphia Sports Now, and they went into the Richard Pitino buyout deal. And I'm hearing all kinds of different stuff. I do know, obviously, when Eddie Nunez left, that Pitino's buyout got cut in half. And according to PHL Sports Now, and they're looking into this big because they are. Because they were talking about Mick Cronin, they were talking about Kevin Willard. That basically Villanova would owe New Mexico $750 to get Pitino out of his contract. Pennies on the dollar, they say, compared to the $4 million and $10 million for Willard and Cronin. I mean, to buy Mick Cronin out, it's gonna be $10 million. Money's real, dude. That may be their tipping point too. They may like all those guys, but damn, it only cost me $750 million to get that guy.
750,000.
I mean, 750,000 as opposed to $4 million or $10 million. So I know you're nervous. I know you're nervous, and you're watching it. Lots of portal news you watched. I mean, honestly, JJ, half of this league, this league's going to be almost unrecognizable when we start next November, right? You're going to have to learn everybody all over again. And I guess that's just the way it is.
Well, it's the way it is until there's a push for anyone to want to do anything. Because everyone loves to point at the NCAA and say, it's bad, this or that. Well, what kind of model do you want? This model's not good for anyone. There's no pro league that works like this. Everyone says, it's pro sports, it's money, it's just that coaches leave, yada, yada, yada. There's no professional league in the world that works where everyone is a free agent after every single season. So what model do they want? If they want this chaos model, well, there you go.
Yeah, and boy, they sure do got it. I mean, they sure do have it. All right, we're here for you today, 505-246-0610. Come on in today, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can watch the show. We're on Facebook, on our Facebook, the OD and the AM, the YouTube channel for ProView Networks, and on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. Adrian's producing for you on the TV side, so you can go give us a look there and comment on, I don't know, JJ's hair or I always get the weirdest things. Dude, what are you doing in your basement, right? That was a weird look that day, though. In my brother's garage.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. That's right. All right. Lots of stuff happening yet. Did you see the Juju Watkins injury? I know many of you didn't watch or don't watch the women's tournament, but she is spectacular. And Juju Watkins, I believe, will be the player of the year, don't you? It's her, Paige Beckers, in women's college basketball for USC. USC won. They played at the Galen Center. They're in the Sweet 16. They won the second round of the NCAA tournament, beat Mississippi State yesterday 96-59. But Juju Watkins went down with a knee injury, and the report is a torn ACL. And she is going to be probably the first pick in the WNBA draft, right? I mean, she was, right?
Well,
Paige Beckers?
Juju's still a sophomore.
She's still a sophomore. Oh, so she can't go because it's 3 years. Okay, so she's not.
No.
So she's done for the year, which, as a number one seed, USC's hopes took a big hit. But, man, you just hate seeing that. And she is, I don't know, you follow the game certainly closer than I, but she's kind of one of the reasons that I will tune in and watch a women's game.
Caitlin Clark pretty much passed the torch to Juju Watkins. Like, she's that talented. And you could argue maybe even a more talented player than Caitlin Clark, just not as polarizing at this point in time. And that's, I think, what people are looking at the highest level, the growth of the game.
And she's in LA.
To where you can have the Caitlin Clark era. Mm. And you still have players like Paige Beckers that she had overcome multiple knee injuries in her career, but still be one of the best players in the game. To go from that to then a Juju Watkins at USC in LA, like at the very top, you're feeling good. And it was a super bummer to see her go down in transition, knee buckled, and that was it.
Yeah. Her head coach is Lindsey Gottlieb. After the game, she said, I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't rattled seeing Juju lying on the floor. This is a human game, and so I obviously tried my best to be what I needed for the team, but internally it's a lot. Yeah, it was rough. Watching that, and then they lost another player. Another player bounced her head off the floor. But they win the game, and so the women's tournament's now, you got a complete Sweet 16 ready to go. But if you watch that was something. All right, we got football stuff. Cam Ward did his pro day yesterday. The Aaron Rodgers saga continues to play out. We got stuff that we got to get through with Colorado State, with Fresno State, with the portal, all kinds of football stuff as we hit now April next week, which means the draft is jumping on us. Pro day at UNM yesterday. So we're here for you. Kenny will be here at 9. We'll kick it with him, wrap up the Lobos season, start looking at the NBA as well. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610 is how to get in here today. Hey, I tell you about John Thomas Jewelers a lot because they really, I got turned on to John about, 2.5, 3 years ago. And I wasn't necessarily looking for a jewelry store, but I found one. And you will too. When you walk into John Thomas Jewelers, they'll be your jewelry store. You'll understand why they're different. You're going to understand right away why they were voted America's coolest jewelry store. It's different. And right now, they're going to Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world, and they're going to hand select breathtaking diamonds just for you, and you can get in on this. So if you pre-order by April 11th, they will find you your 1 in a million diamond. And if you pre-order, it's a diamond that starts at just $3,000. They'll give you a free engagement or anniversary upgrade ring. Give you gratis if you pre-order. So why are they going to Antwerp? And people are always like, well, what's the deal? Why there? I guess that's where 80% of the world's loose diamonds flow, all the way in Antwerp, Belgium. So they go there and they find the finest diamonds. They're sourced. That means you get unmatched quality, unmatched value. John's got 35 years of diamond experience. Let him hand pick a bigger, brighter, more beautiful diamond than anything you can find in New Mexico. Stop by John Thomas Jewelers. It's the third floor showroom, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. Third floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, south of Manal, right across from the Coronado Mall. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where America, well, I think America should, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today. If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I like the UNLV hire, Josh Pastner. Like, why do I know that name? Well, you've been watching him on TV a little bit. Former Memphis, Georgia Tech coach. He had been wanting to get back in. Big field of candidates there. It feels perfect there, doesn't it? It feels very Vegas, first of all. It feels like that one works for him. Like if Lobo Fan if was in the mix and that they'd be happy with something like that, wouldn't they?
I think it's a little hit or miss with Pastner, especially because there's conflicting reports yesterday. So there's some UNLV fans that
Run the Arkansas State coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that feel like, oh, we couldn't get another coach because of this or that. But you read multiple stories. You don't know what it is. Was Hodgins just kind of using UNLV to get a better deal at South Florida? Or was he really in the mix and then pulled out because of resources? Whatever it may be, UNLV moving forward with a brand new football coach and basketball coach.
Yeah, I like what they did. He'd been out of TV had been in TV for 2 years. He took the Georgia Tech to the ACC Tournament Championship, an NCAA tournament in 2021. He was ACC Coach of the Year in 2017. So that's a new coach in this league, in the Mountain West, and I really like that one. I'm looking for everything I can on the Villanova job. Porter Moser's name's still out there. Kevin Willard, Richard Pitino. Pitino's name is out there, though. I mean, really, it's getting louder and louder, isn't it?
Man, why wouldn't it be?
No, I get that.
And two, if you're Villanova at this point in time, you still believe that you are a marquee destination in college basketball. So you're casting your net as wide as you think you can. And Kevin Willard's an interesting one because of what Maryland is doing right now. And there was some reports of internal struggle with Willard and Maryland, but they got a new AD coming in. So did he kind of win that war when it comes to what he wanted moving forward? And if you're just looking at name recognition along with a good resume, Pitino does fit that mold.
Yes, he's certainly cheaper to buy out. Kevin Willard's deal, and he's made it pretty clear that he was not happy with the way the resources were. If you're wondering, why would Richard go, or could you match him? So everything I see, Kevin Willard, who was just let go, was making $4.4 million last year. I mean, I don't know how you match that. I don't know how you compete.
Oh, Neptune?
What did I say? Kevin Willard?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Neptune. The coach that was fired there. So All right, what does Colorado State do? They lose their coach, Nico Medved. He goes to Minnesota. There's a big push there for Ali Farokhmanesh, the assistant who they played his big game, his highlights during the Colorado State game on the NCAA tournament the other night. Did you see that?
Yeah, his exceptional March Madness run.
Yeah, he was really good. 3 of the past 4 seasons, Medved's taken them to the NCAA tournament, won a game the last 2 years, and Ali Farokhmanesh has been with him, and there's a push up there. They've got a relatively new AD who's not an AD, if that makes sense, right? Colorado State went out of the box on AD, so I have no idea what his hire's going to, how he's going to hire. When Joe Parker got fired, they brought in a gentleman who was an alum, kind of out of the business world, right? A real successful business guy. And I've met him a number of times, and I'm not sure how he hires. But it'll be interesting. Does he stay with a guy who's been with the program? There's a lot of the swell. I'm sure on the way out, Nico Medved probably said, hey, Ollie's ready to take this job and ready to be the guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of national respect for Farokhmanesh, and it's not – we know that every year it's a turnover, but especially for that team, your best player is now going to the NBA.
Yeah, but your next best player is a freshman.
And can you keep the other role players around to build – on it? And you have to look at the entire picture. Is it good for just the next year, or is it just something you can build for the next few seasons? And I think that when you have a coach almost in waiting, it's not a bad place to be in. And this era, things can change overnight in recruiting, so it's less about how many high schools can you get into, people and just more about, hey, as long as you're good at relationships, you have enough to throw in the NIL market, you can probably get a couple good players.
Yeah, and can you keep Casey Evans, right? Can you keep, like, Jalen Lake's done, but they've got obviously they got some players up there, dude. They went on that run at the end of the year. They won the Mountain West Conference tournament. They were a buzzer beater away from going to the Sweet 16. There's a lot there. If you now, you're not gonna have a Nick Clifford. Or will you? Can you find a Nick Clifford in the portal? I mean, they got him in the portal. He came over from Boulder. Whatever happened to Javante Johnson? He and Nick Clifford were high school teammates, remember? And he transferred up there, right? He transferred to Colorado State and got lost on the bench there. Remember, he was starting for the Lobos as a freshman. He was a starter. And when Richard got here, I believe he was in the starting lineup that first year, too. And then he ended up going up to Colorado State, went home, because it just didn't work. He got recruited over. I've lost whatever happened to him. Anyway, other coaching stuff. This one's interesting, too. Sacramento State, who may end up being in the Pac-12. I don't know what's going to end up. They hired Mike Bibby as their coach. Like, Mike Bibby, yeah, the former Arizona player at the University of Arizona, was a star with the Sacramento Kings. He played 9 years, and Kenny knows him well. I'm interested to hear what Kenny Thomas has to say about Mike Bibby getting a job at his, not his alma mater, but at Sacramento State. He's been a TV analyst for NBC Sports California, where Kenny used to work.
I know what Kenny's going to say.
What?
That if Richard Pitino leaves, there you go.
That they should hire Kenny?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Like, they can do it for Mike Bibby. They can do it for me.
Yeah. He's got zero coaching experience at the college level. He coached at high school, Shadow Mountain High School in Phoenix, 14 through 19, briefly at a prep high school. Kenny coached the Enchantment. They won a game once. Remember? You remember.
You remember.
So that's kind of crazy stuff, too. And then portal stuff. Look, man, Quentin Webb, who entered the transfer portal, it makes sense. He wants to go play. It's hard not to like Quentin Webb, too. I really like him. But he wasn't getting any time, so he's in the portal. And then Shane Dumas Sanchez from Del Norte High School, who never appeared in a game for UNM. He was the one in November who kind of left. He left the team. There's that lawsuit that's still pending saying that he was punched by a teammate on that trip to Palm Springs. And that whole big thing that I don't think is settled yet. I think it's kind of got quiet, I don't want to say it's quiet. Somebody told me the other day that's one of the things that's really bothering Richard, and that may, play that thing's still hanging over his head. And again, everybody's got their I know this, and my guy told me this, and right.
Yeah, I saw an entire thread yesterday that popped up on social media. You have that For You page, just throws all this stuff that you're not looking
Which
for.
page is that?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
There's the one you follow, and then there's if you slide over, it's the For You page of stuff you don't follow, but it kind of aggregates of
crap
stuff that goes along with your algorithm.
Okay.
And there was this giant thread of a dude who just spat off that I sat on a plane with Jared Calhoun.
I saw that one.
It was like this paragraph, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he was sitting in front of it."
It was like 18 posts.
Like, what? Like that's the stuff you're getting.
Utah State fan telling his people how he sat with Jared Calhoun and barfed the whole conversation that he claims that he had and why he's going to stay at Utah State.
Stuff like that you see on the X, and you're like, yeah, you got to take every post with a grain of salt.
100%.
You really know it's that verified.
Yeah, no, this was
poster.
somebody I know in the law profession that told me that. But I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, everybody's got their angle. Everybody knows, and really, until it goes down, I'm not even sure Richard knows, right? I mean, I'm going to guess if the job was offered, he probably would have moved on it by now. I don't even know if he's spoken to them. Maybe today's the day. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and two, salary-wise, you're not going to match $4 million.
No.
You understand that. And even if you don't, and Rich Pitino has mentioned it multiple times in this era of college athletics, you're still getting paid to win. But so does that something that you would jump at, and then maybe the resources aren't where you'd want them to be, but then you can go in there and push forward. And that's why I think right now, I don't even know if it's 60-40 one way or the other, staying or going. Because with really being one job that would feel like, okay, you're taking the Villanova basketball job. It's not going to be VCU.
And it's
not going to be Colorado State.
Here's the good part about the Villanova job for now. But here may be something to look at too. Jay Wright, would you call him a legend? I mean, if you're a Villanova fan, he's a legend, right?
Yes.
Right? Jay Wright is their former coach who's now on, you're watching him during March Madness studio coverage, right? Gentleman who still looks like he's, I don't know how old Jay Wright is, but he doesn't age and he dresses well, and he won national championships at Villanova. The guy who replaces the guy always has it tough, right? I think it was Gene Bartow, if I'm not mistaken, who replaced John Wooden. But they're still trying to, they're at UCLA, 40 years later, they're still holding him to the John Wooden standard. No, honestly.
That's correct.
In who was before Alfred? I see him. Gosh, dog it. What was the coach before Steve Alfred?
Ben Howland?
Ben Howland. Ben Howland went to, two Final Fours? And it wasn't good enough, and they fired him and hired Steve Alfred. Alfred went to, I think, 3 Sweet 16s, certainly not good enough, and they got rid of him. And so the only thing at a job like Villanova, look, $4.5 million is a lot of money a year. And you're not directly replacing the guy, but you're still going to be held to his standard. And it's a tough one, right? Rick Pitino, Richard's father, went to St. John's all these years after Lou Carnesecca. And I think they still hold it to that standard. And he's finally been able to live up to close to that standard. Well, to that standard, they won the Big East in 2 years. But just be careful. That's all I'm saying. In a job like that, you know what I'm saying? It's even though you're not the guy replaced the guy, you replace the guy who replaced the guy. And in modern memory, recent memory, they were at the top of college basketball, correct?
National champion.
All right. That would be the top. And you're going to be held to that standard. Now you're like, okay, I can handle that, especially for $4.5 million a year. So we'll see. All right, let's get into the NFL when we get back. 505-246-0610. You had some pro days yesterday, including the guy who looks like he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Did he solidify himself as the number 1 pick? It's the opening drive, 505-246-0610. Thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Do you know your number? No, not your...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Be the number 1 overall pick, the quarterback from Miami. He was at Washington State before that, right? And then Incarnate Word before that, is that correct?
Yeah, the dude was a 0-star.
Like a 0
recruit
star.
out of high school, and was looking at becoming a number 1 overall pick.
I mean, if you can play, they will find you. You think Incarnate Word fans are just pissed, man? See, we're just a stepping stone. I mean, I know Washington State
Probably a
fans.
couple.
Yeah, we had Cam Ward. And we could have won a national championship, right? And Incarnate Word, and they took Cam Ward, and Washington State did, and Washington State fans going, oh, we could have had Cam Ward. And then they had a pretty good one last year, too. Didn't they? I know they did at Washington. They always have good quarterbacks at Washington State. Cam Ward believes he has solidified himself now as the top overall pick in next month's draft. He had his pro day yesterday at Miami. Quote, I told them I'm solidifying it today. They finally got to see me throw in person. That should be all they need to see. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy whatever team I go to. I'm just trying to play football. That was his quote. I haven't seen anything coming out of Tennessee, have you? Like, they're not tipping their hand, are they?
No, they're not.
Kind of like that. I mean, they have a quarterback if they want to go.
They don't have a quarterback.
They don't, do they? Will Levis?
They don't.
So you know what this reminds me of? Who was the Giants quarterback when they passed? Were they still holding on to Eli? The draft that had Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, that draft, right, where there were 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and the Giants passed on all of them, and the next year they reached for Daniel Jones. Was Eli like holding on to it last year? Is that why they passed? Because like they've been spending a decade since then, basically trying to find a quarterback, and they've been garbage. That would be the model Tennessee's following, unless they feel that they're reaching here.
Yeah, and if they feel they're reaching, all right, take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, whichever you feel is the best player in this draft, and you go from there. I think this is an opportunity that if you believe, Cam Ward, maybe he's not the best player, but you feel, all right, this guy has franchise traits. It's what you got to do at the top of the draft.
Where would Cam Ward rank in last year's draft, quarterback-wise? You had 6 taken in the first 12.
Be battling, I think, with right after the top 3.
So he would be higher than J.J. McCarron and Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
He'd be in that mix.
Because the top 3 last year were Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and the guy,
Drake May.
Right?
And then you'd just be debating, all right, do I like Penix? Do I like Bo Nix? Do I like Cam Ward? Is J.J. McCarthy, you believe that national champion quarterback's got something for you?
All right. So relative to that, Bo Nix was really good. Right? Bo Nix was really good last year, correct? Like, you have a franchise quarterback in Denver now. We have no idea about J.J. McCarron, and we have a small idea about Michael Penix. And we think Michael Penix is going to be okay, right? The other 3 look like they're on track. Do you reach? If you don't believe he's your guy, like if you're sitting in that room, what would you be telling him right now?
Well, if you're not sold, then you don't draft him, but it's not a reach if you need a quarterback.
But it's a reach if he's not that guy, right?
You don't know that.
You don't know that. No, 100%.
You don't know if Michael Penix is that guy.
I agree with you.
Don't know if J.J. McCarthy is that guy. I don't know if Drake May's that guy. Just because you played a season doesn't make you that guy.
I totally agree with you. He was a 0-star recruit. Incarnate Word threw for 6,900 yards. And the numbers in Incarnate Word are stupid. 71 touchdowns, 19 games. Let me say that again. 71 touchdowns in 19 games in Incarnate Word.
Like, yeah, this guy might be better than everyone.
And 6,900 yards. He went to Washington State 2022, threw for almost 7,000 yards, 48 touchdowns and 16 interceptions in 2 seasons, and then finished up at Miami. I saw him in person this year. I got to a Miami game this year. Really, I like him. I think he's good. I'm not as sold as some are. And then where did you put Shador? Like, would Shador be a reach at 2 or 3? Or not if you need a quarterback?
Not if you need a quarterback.
So you got to take the
not
chance.
A reach.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not the highest rated player on your board, but it's the most impactful position. And if you don't have these guys rated, you don't have to draft them. We've seen it in past drafts. Just think back to when the Steelers took Kenny Pickett in the first round. He's the first quarterback off the board, and it was 20th.
I remember Jordan Love slipping to 20 whatever, right? Yeah. Okay. this draft interests me. It does, because I just don't think I have any idea where it's going to go. Puka Nacua's got a plan, kind of like Glover Quinn. Remember when Glover Quinn was on our show the day after he retired? The former Lobo who spent 10 years in the NFL. And Glover Quinn told us his story. It's one of my favorite stories we've ever had one of my favorite interviews we ever had on the show. I think Glover's fascinating. Glover, and he said his buddy in college at UNM, they put together a plan. And Glover said, I want to play 10 years in the NFL. And he lived on 30% of his earnings, put 70% away. Said, remember he told us, you live pretty good on 30% of an NFL salary. And he was healthy. He was still playing at the top of his game. And remember he told us he walked up, his last game, he was with the Lions. He was played at Lambeau Field. He walked off. He pulled out his cell phone. He was taking pictures. He knew it was his last game. He said, it was 10 years. I hit it, and he's healthy, and he's doing well. Puka Nacua said he's going to retire at 30. I want to retire at the age of 30. I'm 23. I'm going into year 3. It wouldn't even be 10 years. It'd be maybe 7 or 8. I think of Aaron Donald going out on top. I think that'd be super cool. It's interesting, right? Guys, like the window to make a bunch of money is so small for these guys. Smaller for some. I wonder if you watch kind of how the Cooper Kupp thing just got handled. Because he's Cooper Kupp right now, right?
Yeah.
And so on the next contract, they're just going to go, yeah, we got a younger one, a younger version of you. I mean, and look, Puka's bigger and stronger than Cooper Kupp.
It's not like, yeah, Kupp's not in L.A., but the dude still got paid.
He still got paid. Yeah. Yeah, and he went home. He's a Davis Pirate. Did you know the
It's not necessarily a bad ending for Cooper Kupp.
No, it's not even an ending. He went back home. He's from Yakima. Davis High School, dude. The Pirates. You know their big rivalry is in Yakima? Oh, the Ike Davis games, Eisenhower High. Eisenhower Cadets, Davis Pirate. Oh, JJ. The Ike Davis games in Yakima were legendary. Just saying.
It's like Cleveland Rio Rancho.
It's where somewhat like that. Drew Bledsoe's brother played at Eisenhower. The one that went to Colorado. Why am I forgetting his first name? And Mac, the dad, coached at Ike, too. Anyway, that's a little Middle Washington trivia for you. But, yeah, he wants to retire at that point, which, I mean, I think I kind of love that. Let me make my money, make my mark, and get out with my health. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a bad plan.
No.
Really good plan.
I think it's a really good one. All right, what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? He visited the Steelers, according to sources. Is he, I mean, where else, man? The Vikings said no. It's there, the Giants, right?
Nope.
What do you think?
Tennessee, Cleveland.
So if they don't take a quarterback.
Yeah, if there could absolutely be NFL franchises that feel like you, that just look at this quarterback and go, don't want these dudes in the first round.
Get me through a year. So I take Abdul Carter, or I take Travis Hunter, and then let's sign Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Rodgers could still be in the mix. Like, yes, Cleveland traded for Kenny Pickett. That doesn't take Aaron Rodgers off the table.
No.
You got a Deshaun Watson sitting there. He's going to get his money regardless, so you have to figure it, move on. And he's got 2 torn Achilles. You know, Tennessee, could you, if you bring in pieces and you're Aaron Rodgers, you're like, well, yeah, it's Pittsburgh, but do you trust that offense? Is Pittsburgh just the Jets 2.0 for him stepping in there?
What's your bet? If you had to place a bet on Aaron Rodgers. Steelers are still the front runner, right?
I think they'd still be the favorites. But again, with this quarterback class,
yeah,
as kind of uncertain as it is,
yeah,
there's a reason that Aaron Rodgers is taking his time. There's a reason that Kirk Cousins story came out and saying, hey, I'll wait till after the draft to have a discussion if you can trade me or not, Atlanta, because he has a no-trade clause, to see what happens. Because there's not going to be a bunch of quarterbacks picked in the first round like there was last year, just filling up with these spots.
Is Jackson Dart Will Levis? There's part of me that I think Jackson Dart is more Bo Nix than Will Levis.
Okay.
Now, again, I mean, we're throwing darts, so to speak. All right, let me take this break because we're super late, but I want to come back and talk about that. Hey, if you've been the victim of a home or business break-in, you know that the police, it takes a long time just because there's not enough of them to cover all the calls. But when it's you need a quick response. That's why I trust IPS, and I suggest you do as well. You've seen IPS all around town. Businesses, in your neighborhood. It's affordable private security that protects what you've worked so hard to build. International Protective Service has officers all around town, strategically placed, so they respond quickly. An alarm goes off at a property that they are monitoring, they're there within 7 minutes or less. They install alarms. They install camera systems. They got the state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. All this raising the level of security around your home and your business. You've worked too hard to build what you've built, to have the bad guys just come in and destroy it. Don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS. Have them protect what you've built. I trust them. I know you can as well. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard. serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's NMFAF.
I want to wrap up with the NFL stuff. And where was I? On the Jackson Dart thing? Is that where I was? I'm not convinced. I think Cam Ward's going to be good. I think Shedeur has a shot to be really good. I don't know that I think Jackson Dart is much behind them, is my thought. Now, I haven't watched the tape that these guys have. I'm not Kurt Warner breaking down every ounce of film and Mel Kiper. Just my eyes watching games. Do you think I'm way off on Jackson Dart? Because it feels a lot like Bo Nix to me.
He's not close to Bo Nix.
Okay.
He's closer to Will Levis, but that doesn't mean he can't iron things out and get in the right spot and be good. And I think Jackson Dart, Dalen Gabriel, Jalen Milroe are intriguing second, third round options when you're looking to bring a guy in, see if you can find a spark, not necessarily attach your wagon to it like you would, say, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Now there's, look at last year's draft, and Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, there was the franchise upside, and then it was, even with Drake May, it was, all right, can you mold this guy into something? There was that with Michael Penix and, Bo Nix, once people really started to dive into it and go, oh, this guy is more than a system. He can make all the throws.
Right.
And I think with these quarterbacks that you like Jackson Dart, I can see it. I could see how you could look at just the body that is there, that mold, and say, all right, I can make this guy a cleaner version of whatever you want him to be. And I think that second round mix is going to be really interesting because I don't know if he sneaks into the first round with the way it's playing out right now, but I think a team would be comfortable in that area with some of these guys saying, hey, maybe we could find something over the next couple of years could turn into a starter.
Okay. I don't hate that. I'm interested in this draft because I think there's a lot of intrigue where I feel like the last couple of years, the top of the draft, I think I knew what was going to happen. I really don't. And I'm intrigued because I think it can go a lot of different ways. And I think there's going to be somebody that's going to throw a haymaker and climb up and grab someone. And I don't know who I think it's going to be. I was just staring at some of the, do the Steelers jump up? Do the Jets jump up? The Jets and Giants are just compiling quarterbacks and hoping somebody hits, right? Like honestly.
Yeah, and
let me throw a roster together and see who I can, hopefully one of these guys can hit.
Yeah, I think if you're the New York Giants right now, you're
Jameis Winston and Tommy DeVito. That's who you are.
Yeah, but I think you make that Jameis Winston play knowing that he's a guy that can play, but he's not a guy that's going to whine if all of a sudden somehow at number 3 you do have the choice between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and you like those guys, and then you can draft one.
Do the Jets have a wild card in Jordan Travis?
Yes.
Jordan, for those of you who don't recall, Jordan Travis was the quarterback at Florida State 2 seasons ago. Remember when they went undefeated and got left out of the playoff? And they got left out of the playoff in large part because, well, there were 5 unbeatens. Or not 5 unbeatens.
Well, it's because he got hurt.
But he got hurt. And then they all opted out and they got beaten the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl like 63-3 by Georgia, right? But he was the quarterback of that team. He was the reason that they were undefeated. And the Jets drafted him in the 5th round, and knowing that he was going to be out all last season. Well, I got to believe he's about ready to go to camp this year, right? Like, do they think they maybe have a wild card in Jordan Travis? They brought in Justin Fields. They have Tyrod Taylor.
It's an entirely new staff.
Okay. 100% it's entirely new staff.
So they are learning what they have.
Could they have a wild card there? That'd be a great story, by the way. All right, you're in on the on the hoop stuff. I'll get you some of what you have to say. We got a sweet deal for you that I know you're going to want. You going to lunch today, by the way?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Are you? Over trying all the new Isotopes goodies? We're going to hear from them as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM, an AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
You know, the portal is what it is. The coaching carousel is what it is, and you got to get used to it. And like nobody loves it. I don't think anybody, unless you benefit from it. And everybody's got their idea on the Twitter on what's wrong with the portal and the time of it and the unlimited transfer. I think that's one of the biggest issues right now is the unlimited transfers that people get. But just my mind, sometimes it's hard. So I'm watching Nico Medved get off the plane in Minnesota. And I know this is so inconsequential and so it doesn't matter. But it is weird seeing him in maroon instead of green. Like he's wearing, right? I don't know if I've ever seen Nico in anything but a white or a green quarter zip.
You need to take a look at his yearbook photo from Minnesota.
I've never seen it though. See, that's I've never seen that. And there he is with his whole family getting off, and he's in that PJ Fleck looking quarters. It's just it's like watching John Calipari. It took me a minute watching him in the red. Right? I mean, I watched him in Kentucky Blue for the last 6 years or whatever it was. It's just one of those things. I know it's inconsequential. Doesn't matter. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Gopher said, Patino's gone and you are to blame, Jeff. And he just sent me that same link on the buyout in PHL Sports Now. On Richard Pitino's buyout. So somehow, why am I to blame for that, though?
It's your fault, man.
Patino.
You are Jeff Grammer.
I know why. Because Mick Cronin's buyout is $10 million. That's why. I'm Mick Cronin, according to him.
I get that.
Yeah.
I have to explain it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I had to explain it to me, actually, in my own mind. No, there's no news on that. There's a story in PHL, what is it? PHL Sports Now, Philadelphia, where Villanova is, on the buyouts and how Kevin Willard's buyout from Maryland's about $4 million. And about Mick Cronin's at UCLA would be $10 million, and the buyout for Pitino would be about $750,000, which is a lot less than the other ones. Just in case you needed that, me to decipher that for you, which I know you didn't. All right, Maurice is in. Boy, I sure don't get this, Jeff. Yesterday, callers like Rudy were crying, the system is rigged, there isn't a single P5 left. Wow. Yet their solution is to throw more money at Lobo basketball and Dickie P. That's as ridiculous as saying the way to beat Vegas is have a bigger bankroll. It doesn't matter how big your bankroll is, the house always has the edge. It's from Maurice. So he's just suggesting don't throw don't put resources into basketball. And
well, no one is, dude. It's hollow with some of these people, man. No one is saying you're going to throw Auburn or Alabama money at it.
You don't have it.
But you need to throw as much as you can to be towards the top of your conference to compete with your peers, cut down nets, and then see what happens. And that's the same feel I have with women's basketball right now, is do what you can in your conference. I get it. People are getting blown out. The good at the top is ridiculously good. There's good teams getting blown out.
In the women's game?
There's good college
like
basketball
Mississippi State did yesterday without Juju
right
Watkins at SC. They lost, 59? What was the number? It's 96-59. Yeah.
So you just have to look in the mirror and say, hey, can we win a conference championship? Can we cut down nets, enjoy the moment, and then YOLO? See what happens.
Yeah. Larry said Lobo Nation has good reason for concern because of what college athletics is these days with the portal and NIL. I hope Coach Pitino stays put and builds Gonzaga of the Southwest, but if he leaves, he leaves. Lobo basketball is in a better place than he found it, and I'll thank him for it and wish him well. I'll feel the same about Dent, Washington, and the whole roster. So I'm on a thread with a bunch of guys I went to school with at San Diego State. And I'll show it to you, but it's like they're like, basically, I've lost interest, right? They lost Nick Boyd yesterday, or 2 days ago, Magoon Guath yesterday. They're afraid that Miles Bird's leaving. Reese Waters may leave. They're like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this every year. And I asked you this a couple years ago, and I could be wrong, and maybe in a place like here, because there isn't a pro team, and San Diego's somewhat the same way. They have the Padres, really, and that's it. Long term, and I say long term, give it 10 years. Does constant turnover of a football and basketball roster decrease interest in college athletics across the board? Maybe not at Alabama and Michigan, and that's all that people really care about, right? At Notre Dame and at Auburn and at Penn State. But at other places, do you believe it will decrease interest in those sports? Is it going to be tougher to get support for Mountain West, WAC, PAC?
Yeah, if you're not able to be successful and have your moment, yes.
So you need one moment.
The reason the Aztec fans are upset is got blown out by North Carolina.
Well, they have higher expectations.
If you get to the Sweet 16 and then lose these guys, you're frustrated. But
which they did last year.
Yeah. So
like they got to the finals. They lost the big dude to Arizona, right?
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson.
They
lost some dude to Ohio State.
You're watching Lamont Butler play for Kentucky.
Yeah. So if it's to answer that question, if you're not winning, then yes.
Even if you're winning, though.
No. If you're winning and you're having your moments of conference championship, NCAA tournament victories, you're fine.
Okay. So, like, can Colorado State sustain?
I don't know if any of these schools can sustain.
Including New Mexico, right?
I think
does it cycle? So it cycles. When you have a coach on a third year, like Josh Pastner on his third year, when he's got something going and he's got a couple of studs in there, and then he goes somewhere, and then whoever is at Colorado State, Ali Farouk-Manesh has his third year, and he's got his studs, and then he leaves, and then, that's kind of how it is. I'm not sure it's totally different.
It's over the last few years, and I know something that I've talked about as we've gone back and forth kind of discussing what the new era of college athletics is. It is almost 2-year spurts. And then when I brought that up with Rich Pitino, and he pushed back on me one time, he's like, almost 1 year.
Yeah.
I remember that's correct.
Yeah, I remember that. Rod says, Lobo fans are parched, Jefferson. I've told this story on the OD before. When I was younger, I went to a poor school. When we had break in practice, everybody rushed to the single old water fountain. It was a hot day. Or if it was a hot day or a hard practice, it seemed the players at the front of the line were going to drink from the fountain forever. If you were at the back of the line, you were lucky to get a sip before practice resumed. Lobo fans are thirsty. They've been patiently waiting at the back of the line for decades while Puke, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Louisville have been enjoying big gulps of water from the Sweet 16 fountain. They've watched Florida Gulf Coast, FAU, St. Peter's, even Sister Flippin' Jean wheeled up to the fountain while dry Lobo fans watched her guzzle with their tongues hanging out. Even your Aztecs are stepping to the spout. It seemed like Ellenberger was going to get the Lobos a drink, but pesky Cal State Fullerton and maybe some unpaid bookies had other plans. Gary Colson had more than enough talent to get there, but just couldn't come up with that critical road win to get them within reach. Bliss, Davalos, Chavez era had the talent too and stood in line many times. But whether it be chili cheese fries, Kenny Thomas disappearing under the bright lights, or the wrong players taking the big shots, they couldn't get the faucet either. And even when it seemed Steve Alford was tantalizingly close to the spigot, pesky Laurent Rivard got in the way. It's from Rod. Damn, dude, there's got to be a song in there. Doesn't there? There's got to be a country music song in that. Don't you think? Lobo fans are parched. They can't get a drink at the fountain. Every time they get in line, they get knocked down by the mountain. There's Duke at Carolina, and this time Michigan State. Everybody stepping in to deny the Lobos' fate. Right? I mean, there's got to be something in there.
And by the way, it just gets, coming off that Michigan State game, I don't think it's any easier because I did see a lot of national basketball folks really pointing out how watching that game, how skewed it was in favor of Michigan State.
It was. Look, I went back and watched a little bit of it. The refereeing was not good.
So when you kind of take a step back and it's not, everyone with cherry-colored glasses saying they're getting punked.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's just another
Do you think that's why they
line
lost?
to add to the song.
Yeah. All right. And the referees were in green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in the song.
Izzo, the Sparty, and the crooked referees.
Just
never mind Laurent Rivard shooting endless threes. I could write this song.
We're adding verses
I think I'm
to
kind of writing it right now. Well, yeah, I'm not I mean, I hear you. Yeah, Lobo fan is parched. Where's Hendon Hooker?
Detroit.
Is that where he is? Text line says another Wildcat quarterback is Hendon Hooker with the Lions. Former Tennessee quarterback could be trade bait for the future. You know what? I loved him in college. Loved him in college at Tennessee.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes like that.
Yeah.
Where you're talented, you're trying to find the right spot.
Sitting on someone's bench. Yeah. And he
ain't taking over for Jared Goff anytime soon.
No, but coming back from a brutal injury. All right, 505-246-0610. We're going to have a sweet deal that you're going to really like. Do you realize opening day at Isotopes Park is next Tuesday?
I do now.
But you're going to eat today, right? I mean, I'm just saying. But you're going to go out there. We got a sweet deal for you that you're going to like a lot when we come back. Hey, Fridays in March, a whole lot better. Twin Peaks makes it better. Why? You can celebrate Lent over at Twin Peaks on Fridays. Beer battered fish and chips bundles every Friday through Easter. Do it with a 22-ounce, that's a big boy, 22-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $12. Do it with a soda or iced tea for just $10. And, of course, every Friday in March, that means this coming Friday at Twin Peaks, Bourbon and Brews from 5 to 7. Experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, amazing giveaways. Don't miss out. Stop at Twin Peaks. What's better? Lingerie costume party, exceptional bourbons and tastings and giveaways. I mean, you win. And if you're looking for a place to watch the games, they got all your hoopsketball over at Twin Peaks. That's your destination. Hopefully you got in on their Twin Peaks bracket challenge. They had a chance to win $2 million. And don't miss the Twin Peaks in-store photo shoot. It is today, 5 to 9 at Twin Peaks. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think I got an appointment at Twin Peaks today at 4:30. Go meet the contestants and join the fun. It's at Twin Peaks. Have fun out there today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-2...
First Sportsbook.
Is there a set of headphones for you around here? I guess not. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. So what did you just send me, Jared Calhoun staying at Utah State? John Rothstein reporting this morning that the Utah State coach, who was rumored to be going to West Virginia, so the West Virginia job's still up. Is that one that you would consider Richard for? I got the same feeling you do on that one. All right, I don't have a set of headphones for you. I mean, there might be some. Hey, Michelle, would you grab C and KK will be there sitting right over there. That way, Forrest can hear what JJ's saying as well. All right, opening day for your Albuquerque Isotopes is 6 days away. Next Tuesday.
The home opener is a week away from today, but we open the season on this Friday.
The home opener.
The home opener, that's the most important part. We face the Salt Lake Bees beginning next Tuesday at 6:35. We got the headphones in now.
Oh, look! Now you can hear your own self in your own ears. Check you out.
How weird is that?
That was
now?
loud, huh?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
That's Van Spot.
That'll wake you up. Yeah.
Forrest is in from the Isotopes. It's we're proud again, as we have been since the inception of the Albuquerque Isotopes, to be your radio home for Isotopes baseball. We'll have them all the games for you here on our stations, with the Sports Animal being the flagship station, and it starts on Friday. And look what we got coming up for opening weekend. First of all, and we're gonna. You get beanies on Tuesday. I get to watch the chili race only on Wednesday. You mean wait? Why is that the promotion on Wednesday? Do I not get a chili race every day?
No, you do. It's just that we don't have anything going on Wednesday.
So I get to watch the chili race. So we're like,
hey, this is
so it's bet on the chili race. You know what you guys should? Can I give you one?
What you got?
Not that you need my ideas, because you're way better at this than basically anybody. And I got to get a magnet schedule. I got another story.
Those always go hot.
No, dude.
Great.
My fridge. Now my daughter's at college now, but she grew up at the ballpark. Okay, my daughter was at her first Isotopes game at 9 days old.
Yeah, there's a picture of her in the press box.
Exactly, when she was like wee little.
Yeah.
But we got all the magnet schedules from every year all over our fridge, and I got to make a spot because I which one's this year, right? But literally the whole side of the fridge, and now poured over to the other side is
you should do like a little video where where you take snapshots of each year and go like a little it's like quick 25-second video of each year's magnet schedule.
They're all
pretty
cool.
There.
Yeah, so I got to get one of that. You get those on Friday. Can you have a sports book sponsor bet the chili race like every time the chili race comes on and bet the chili race? Do you guys ever bet the chili race? Taco's the favorite, huh? Everybody loves stinking taco.
Taco's awesome. I mean, he does not win. I mean, the red and green chili, they win a whole heck of a lot more than anybody else, because we keep track of that kind of stuff up in the press box.
I know you do. You guys, JJ, do you bet the chili race?
I haven't in a while.
So I watch them like I watch the ponies.
It's fun.
Right?
Yeah.
So they come out, and I'm like, it's got the longest legs. Who looks
Yeah.
like I'm on Taco, somebody says, I'm like, look at the little stumpy little legs on Taco.
You see
been
how
Taco?
someone's arms are flailing. You can't really see much. Oh, yeah. There's an art to the size behind it. Yeah.
Absolutely is. And then every once in a while, I'm like, I think I'm on salsa jar today. Look at the little spry step in the salsa jar.
He's quick. He's quick right now.
Yep. So you got Mariachi's Ponchos on Saturday. Is that a Mariachi's night?
It is, yeah, the first one of the season. I believe it's the first 3,000 fans get to the stadium and get your little Mariachi's poncho. The second year we've been doing that. It's very vibrant colors. Think, Joseph Coat from the Bible, if you will. So.
And then Thursday, you got a day game.
Thursday, day game.
Lunch at the Ball Yard next Thursday.
And then Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Bark in the Park. Bring your pups down to the park. We have a little dog parade
Dude, that's
behind
Audra's
home
birthday.
plate.
Should I have her? Were there 2 dogs out there? Should we do her birthday at the ballpark?
Come on.
Can you put her name up on the board?
We could probably figure that out. Figure a way to do that. I might know a guy.
You got a guy. All right. Here's what we got. First off, sweet deal. So this is what we're running today. All right.
Sweet deal. Awesome deal.
This is.
You see what I did there?
I got to find a way to get one of these. All right, baseball bucks. So it's a $56 value book of baseball bucks. They come in $2 increments. They're good for anything. Whether you buy tickets, whether you're buying concession stands, you can buy a beer with them. Right?
Oh yeah.
They're good
Merch,
for everything. All right.
Fun zone for your kids.
All this stuff. 50% off. Isotopes baseball bucks. $28 gets you a $56 baseball buck book.
Man, that's a heck of a sentence right there.
That's right. You go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Go at 9:00 because they're going to be gone by 9:02. Like they
sell so quick.
Going to be gone, and you click on the sweet deal icon and you get them. So this is good for everything, right? Everything in the ball yard.
Yep, everything. Yeah, just a one-stop shop, pretty much. You can even just give some to your kids. Say, hey kid, here's $10. Go get you a hot dog and a corn dog or whatever.
Because I can't give a kid
candy.
money anymore. It used to be I give my kid money, but now it's cashless.
Cashless.
Now I got to give her my credit card. I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And she's smart enough now. Well, she always was.
Bring that receipt back, kid.
Who knows what they come back with.
Seriously. Forrest is in from the Isotopes. We got opening day on Friday, home opener next Tuesday.
So you going to win games?
Yeah, I mean.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, just based on who the Rockies have sitting down from Major League camp, the roster's could look pretty good. So I'm excited for the season.
When are you not?
That's a great question. I don't know.
All right. So we've already decided baseball season hasn't started yet. The Rockies are already 14 games back.
That's correct.
Of the Dodgers, right?
I mean, everybody is at this point.
Actually, they really are a game back because the Dodgers started.
Yeah, they're 2. I guess they're 2 games back because the Dodgers are 2.
Right.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Math.
Yeah, it's math.
Gosh.
Because I'm waiting for Sid. I'm waiting for the email already. Hey, will you tell that guy to shut up about promotions and stuff? Are they going to win any games? When are they going to fly a flag?
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm the media relations guy. I don't stock the roster. I don't pick the starting pitcher. But you have seen the roster? Like
I'm not seeing the roster.
You've seen pretty much what you don't have to give me names, but you've seen pretty much what the roster looks like.
Based on who the Rockies have sent down from Major League Spring Training Camp, we have a possibility to have a really nice mix of names. Yep. Based on the top prospects right now, throughout the entire season, we have a pretty good chance to see 10, 11, 12 of those top 15 guys or so.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those guys are getting old enough to get to those upper levels of the minor leagues, and so I think we have a pretty good chance to win some more ball games this year.
JJ, who's the prospects you want to see?
Was it Veen's coming back down?
Which
is a little surprising, especially after the Rockies traded Nolan Jones, because got to trade good players right before the season starts.
Yeah, I did not see that trade coming. And Veen did win the spring training MVP award for the Rockies, which is a great nod for him. He led the Cactus League in steals. Chase Dolan is another great name to be thrown out there. Tennessee product. I think he's in the top 50 overall for the MLB prospect rankings. So hopefully we'll see him at some point this year. He's ascending quickly.
All right. Opening day. Get your tickets. ABQisotopes.com. I'm trying to get you a weather report for opening day right now.
It's going to be in the low 70s.
You already know that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you guys look at this, right?
Oh,
it's
never.
Like me, like 10 days out of bowl game. Like, what are we getting?
We're living on the weather app pretty much for 6 months of the year.
I used to go into Pat McKernan's office back in the old Dukes days.
Yeah.
And he had the radar going like that, and like Hostess
Oh,
cakes,
wow.
like baked goods everywhere. It was I don't even know how to define that. It was just stacks of baked goods, crap, papers, TVs, but the weather, like, and it was before the app. There was no apps at that time. Tuesday, 72 and partly cloudy and perfect, 4% chance of precip. You're getting 72, 75, 75, 71, 69, 74 for your homestand.
If that doesn't say baseball's back, I don't know what does.
It says the Lord loves the isotopes, the mariachis, the green chili cheeseburgers, and Duke City 505 baseball.
You got
Did I
that
miss
right.
one? Did I miss one?
That's all of them. You got them all. Yeah.
Until next year?
Yeah. Well, we waited
How's
a few
the Duke
years.
City thing going over?
Oh, it's going great. I mean, people are loving the logo. It's really, getting, engaging with the community on designing that logo was really big for us and making sure it was extremely authentic.
I saw Johnny the Lander as a model. That made me. I'm like, that's my guy.
Oh yeah, he's always on the gram, the Topes gram, right?
100%. All right, here's the deal. Your baseball bucks can go towards gear. It can go towards merch. You can get yourself a new 505 branded Duke City baseball cap.
Oh yeah.
Get your baseball bucks. It's our sweet deal. It's on sale at 9:00 today. You go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You click on the icon that says sweet deal and do it at 9 because it's going to be gone by 9:03. And for 26, what is it? What's my numbers? Half price. You get
$28 for
you get
$56 value.
Yeah, you can buy 2 of them.
Can't beat that.
You can buy 2 if you want. You look at Michelle's like, you can buy 10 and have them go like that. ABQisotopes.com, right?
That's correct.
That's where your tickets are on sale. Your single tickets games are available. Your mariachis packs are available. Your Duke City 505 packs are available.
Weekend plan now. You can get all the weekend games, season tickets, the whole shebang there. If you want a package, we got that package for you.
What's JJ eating for lunch today? What are the secret
Oh
chefs
man,
today?
we have 3 new entrees, 4 new dessert options.
Look at you, dude. You have to go to the gym.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need to go to the gym because you're gonna want to try all these dessert options because they are mouth watering.
All right, have fun out there today. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. Thank y'all.
ABQisotopes.com is where you get them. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon 9:00 because by 9:05.
There you go.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 660 Sports Animal.
This report is brought.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
College basketball all season from the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, and Big 12.
Yeah, you get Major League Baseball opening like in full on what day is today? I think it's Thursday, right? Thursday's the big opening day. Yeah. And then the Ice Tips will open up on Friday in Sacramento. And thank you to Gus. He's already checked the forecast. It looks like it's going to be cool and rainy in Sacramento. Might favor Albuquerque's baseball team, give defense that's been beleaguered the last few years a chance to get off to a fast start. Okay. Gotcha. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Forrest, I'm excited about this. Yeah, you should be, man. You haven't lost a game yet. And I guess I'm jilted in that respect. I love going to the ballpark. My daughter grew up there. I've had the same, season tickets since the ballpark opened. We're thrilled. We really enjoy it. I don't live or die by wins and losses. It's very different than certainly, Isotope fan is very different than United fan, right?
Of course.
Just winning and losing. But I think at some point, like if Isotopes were in a pennant race, would this city care at all? Like if it came down the stretch and they were
a fun story.
It'd be a fun story. Would they care? You know how the news follows the U.S. Open Cup, which, by the way, isn't even that anymore. But when United's like in the quarterfinals of the U.S., the news follows them to whatever town. Would the news follow them to the playoffs? Probably not, right? Be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know. It's been so damn long, dude. I mean, this club's never done it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. I think people would get behind it. They'd rally behind it.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like winning's fun. I say it all the time. I heard Hunter say it on the Global broadcast the other day. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. This one made me laugh. Somebody sent me, who was it? Somebody sent it to me. It was Gopher, I believe. No, somebody sent me this link. Richard Pitino was on a radio show in Minneapolis last week. And he was talking about the job. He was on KFan up there with Dan Barreiro. I'm sorry if I butcher. I really am sorry. Because people butcher my name all the time, and I apologize. Barreiro, I believe, Barreiro on KFan. And they were talking about the program up there and what needs to be done. And if Nico they asked him about Nico Medved, and Richard says, look, he says, quote, I've spoken with Mark, the AD up there. He says, we still keep in touch. I'm rooting for them to figure it out. I think the biggest thing, whoever goes and gets that job, is he's got to find people outside of the administration that can really help elevate that thing, that really, really care about building a championship program. I know they exist. There's great people there. But honestly, when I reflect on it, I won 26 games the last 2 years. I'm not a better coach now than I was back then. You just got to get everybody on the bus the best you can. And he continued, and they talked about the building. Do you think Richard Pitino, and I'm asking this for a reason, do you think he's ever been in the bathroom on the concourse level at the pit? Like where common folk go at the pit?
It's possible.
So he was asked about the building. I guess the building that they play in there, Williams Arena at Minnesota. The building here is like 60 years old, right? The pit. Williams Arena is 96 years old, 97 years old. And so the host asked Richard about, what do you think needs to be done? Should they tear down the building? Do they need renovations? Quote Pitino now, I think you're in a community where there's so many good facilities. I'm not saying new building, but I absolutely think the people that are going to those games should not be going to the bathroom in a trough anymore. You know what I mean? I think the concession piece of it, there's little things like that I truly believe, like Wrigley Field did with major renovation, or like Fenway Park did. I don't think you need to build a whole new one, but I do believe there's money that needs to be put in there. End quote. You think people just told him that there's troughs? When was the last time you peed in a trough, dude?
I'm sure he knows what the bathrooms are. Sometimes you've practiced on the court, you're walking around.
So you just go upstairs. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, you're right. When I was at San Jose State, before the game, I used the regular facility. Yeah, fair enough. You probably do it too. But I love that. That's they don't have to just blow it up. It's just like put in urinals. Modern style urinals where you don't have to touch it to flush. That's fair. That's what they did with the pit, right? They try to modernize the concourse and keep the feel of. I was at Fenway Park 2 summers ago. They've modernized that quite a bit to retrofit the old ballpark. Yeah, that's fair. All right, 505-246-0610. I got I got some emails from you on Lobo basketball. This is Lobo Hobo. It's going to take luck, Jeff. I was talking to distraught fans wondering if Lobo basketball is ever going to get to this weekend. The consensus is it will happen, but it's going to take luck. Lobo basketball is going to have to draw a club that's tired of beat up in their first game. They're going to need a McWeek State kind of upset of a blue blood on the other side of the bracket to get them to the round of 32, to get them in the round of 32 instead of Michigan State. It's how, isn't that how San Diego State got there the first time? No, that was 2 years ago. They got like Charleston in the second round. But look, sometimes it happens, and sometimes you beat the big boys, right? I remember when San Diego State made their run. Remember do you remember who they beat in the Sweet 16 round? It was a 1-8 game. No, I don't know if it was a 1-8 game, but they beat Alabama. Alabama was the number 1 overall seed. And then they beat Creighton. And like, there's no easy games here. There's just none. Ron says Jimmer has a song. I wonder if Laurent Rivard has a song, Jeff. He should, as much as he gets mentioned on the OD. Until Lobo basketball makes the Sweet 16, he's going to be remembered as the Steve Alford destroyer more on this show than he is on the Harvard opening drive. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. John says, hey, guys, I agree with you on the refs. I don't know if they're the reason we lost, but it's a big reason. Michigan State got the 9 to 10 point lead they got in the second half. There were 5 possessions in a row where Donovan was basically tackled and nothing was called. But then ticky-tack stuff on the other side. Like I said, I don't think the officials were ever a reason for losing. There was an Izzo bias there. Next, I'm going to go with Pitino staying because right now that's how it is. That being said, I think Washington, Phillip, Jovan, Cade, and Daniels stick around. Donovan stays regardless. His girlfriend got accepted to med school here. With Braden leaving and Webb and the walk-on have already said they're leaving. What do you guys think? Cade Dotson's the one. Do you think if Donovan stays, he stays, or does he go try to get some playing time? Because I told you I really like it.
Yeah, I do think. I know we have this discussion right back and forth of does depth matter. I think if I had one tweak and asked Richard, do you think he should have developed those guys more? But you're locked into that rotation, and you're so.
How do you pull that guy
in the moment? And I understand that. Right? Yeah. How do you take him off the floor?
And there were moments late in the season where he had Cade Dotson on the floor with not big moments, but short
nothing
moments.
That was
right. No, there were moments. Daniels. Who's Daniels?
Daniel Thomas, the freshman that didn't play this season.
Okay. All right. Does he stick around? Jovan, I don't know about any of them, man. I don't know how any of them are happy or not happy. I think the equation totally changes if Richard leaves. Then all bets are off. Did Donovan get tackled 5 times in a row? No, he did not. He got hit a few times, and then was there ticky-tack stuff on there? There was a ticky-tack call on Borovic in a late call that I thought really hurt them. But when Dent lost the ball and it went the other way and there was a 3-point play, that wasn't the ref. The refereeing was not great. But I just can't sit here and blame it on him.
But you can't not talk about it.
No, I'm talking about it.
But I mean, like the 14-point swing at the free throw line. So was it the Lobos not as aggressive? Were they not ready for that physicality? Because they fouled. We saw that. Mm-hmm. You watch replays. There was fouls. So was it just that's just something you can't ever prepare for? Like, what are we?
It's physical, man. I mean, they're not going to call as many fouls. And there were 20-something fouls in this game, and there were 50-something in a regular season game. Which would you prefer?
Well, they sure as heck called fouls on the Lobos.
They did. And sometimes your guys foul more. And look, was there some ticky-tacks? Were there a lot of times you went down and say that should have been a foul? Did you feel that they missed a lot of calls? Like this guy just said Dent got tackled 5 times in a row. Did you feel that was the case?
I don't think 2 or 3 fouls called on Donovan drive to the basket. It was like all of a sudden swinging the game when it is that much. But it's wild. It'd be like any dominant ball handler that drives to the rim. You're going to wonder, how did they not shoot a free throw?
I agree with that. Yeah, there should have been a few. All right, how's your car looking? Now we're going to get some weather. Now's the time. Give my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing a call. Have them come out and detail your vehicle. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, like you get that new car feeling without having that new car price, and they will come to you and they will detail your vehicle at your office, in the parking lot, in your driveway, at home, wherever it works for you. I don't know where their place is. It doesn't matter. They know where mine is. And that's how it is with you. They will bring it to you, and they will detail your vehicle. When they're done, it'll look and feel like the day you took it off the spot. And now ask them about their paint protection film, their ceramic coating. You can prevent nasty scratches and stains and fading paint. On the Spot Automotive Detailing was awarded best in the city because they're best in the city. They know what it takes to provide quality care for your vehicle. So protect your car's value and book with On the Spot Automotive Detailing today. Go online. It's all right there. You can look at their services, book and buy right there at otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action.
I'm buying into the death of the Cinderella story. I mean, we've got a look. Trends of one don't get me. 2 years ago, I had San Diego State and FAU playing a game against each other in the Final Four. Right? Two non-power conference teams. Last year, San Diego State, I believe, was the only non-power team in the Sweet 16, if I'm not mistaken. This year, there were none. So is there a trend? Maybe. I guess I need more than 1 year without a quote-unquote Cinderella. Your 10 seed is Arkansas out of the SEC. That's your Cinderella. Colorado State damn near got there. Would we be having this conversation if that shot by Queen does not go for Maryland? Maybe it'd be different. I'm just not ready to say college basketball is dead because there's no Cinderellas or no non-power conference teams in this year's tournament. I do agree with what Richard Pitino said earlier in the week, that everything's geared towards the Power Five. But I'm just not ready to go there yet. Are you?
Not yet. There are going to be moments. Teams are going to go on a run. There will never be back-to-back big runs for mid-major schools.
I think that's probably right. And you
You're
saw
never going to have Butler before they made the move up go on a run like that.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward's not staying there for 4 years. A guy like Tyson Degenhart staying at Boise State for 4 years is going to be pretty rare, right? If Donovan Dent comes back next year, I think that's going to be, it's just going to be an anomaly. Not unheard of, just a rarity, right? If Donnie comes back for his fourth year here, right? But I'm telling you, he's got an opportunity to be, on the list of the greatest players ever. I think he already is the greatest Lobo ever. But I'm listening to the narrative, and college basketball's dead, and there's no, and it's all because of NIL and transfer, and yeah, but it's not dead. We're all watching. I listen to all the big heads scream, well, yeah, but we want good on good. I don't want power. It's cute in the first and second round, but I don't want them on my second weekend. So they're all yelling at me. They want Arkansas and Carolinas and Kentuckys, right? I don't. I mean, I don't want it all.
Even when teams go on a run, it's one, maybe two.
Yeah.
Even at this point.
But again, it was 2 years ago, dude. Everybody told me FAU's going out in this round. San Diego State's going out in this round. And they met in Houston in the Final Four in one of the most classic games ever. I still want to see him. But I know I'm in the minority when it comes to that as well. Kenny Thomas is coming in next. We'll kick it with Kenny, the former Lobo great. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the KNML, the sports animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I mean, I keep checking every break. I look at the Twitter. I look everywhere. The coaching news this morning in the Mountain West, Jared Calhoun, the head coach of Utah State, according to multiple reports, is staying at Utah State and he'll become the second highest paid coach in the Mountain West Conference behind Brian Dutcher.
Wow.
They're saying, can't believe West Virginia couldn't get this done. Maybe West Virginia went a different way. They just want to go a different way. But he's a former assistant under Bob Huggins at West Virginia. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, J.J. Buck. Kicking it with Kenny, the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran Kenny Thomas is in studio with us this morning. Good morning, Kenny Thomas. How you living?
I'm good, man. What's up, fellas? What's up, JJ? I didn't see you.
Yeah, he went back there to see you, but you were getting coffee or something.
Yeah,
he went by to say hi. How you doing?
I got you after.
Give you a little love. All right, man. It's over. The run's over. Hell of a run. I got a million places to go with you on Lobo basketball with this.
TGL.
Okay, but
we can talk about whatever.
Well,
you want,
did you watch the golf league last night?
Yes,
Who won?
I did.
Jay, did you watch the playoffs of the golf league last night? Best 2 out of 3.
ATL.
I mean, it was good.
Another one's tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Best of 3.
And then we could have another one. Good season. Actually, really good season.
Oh, yeah.
Ran into a team, and like everybody's telling me that it was the referees who stole it.
Oh.
I think it ran into a team that, and there's nothing to hang your hat about to say Michigan State's a little bit better than you.
I hate to say this, but it's a matter of Michigan State having the respect that they is well deserved
And
because
they're
of the
deeper
program.
and they made more plays.
Izzo, and then down the stretch they did make plays. There was some opportunities for some bunnies that were missed around the basket that Dent usually makes. It's maybe I don't necessarily want to say it was all the physicality, but you could sense that it was there. But the way the Lobos have been playing this year, they've came out slow in the first half, and then next thing you know, they have a better second half. That wasn't the case in this last game. It was totally flipped.
You talk about bunnies, and JJ, I think I mentioned this to you. I think so many shots are missed at the rim in the tournament, not just New Mexico, everybody. And it's easy to sit on your couch and just going, oh, how do you miss that?
Yeah.
The physicality, is it a lot more physical in the NCAA tournament than it is regular season?
Oh yeah. It's like the NBA playoffs, man. It's a whole different beast.
Because do you think there's a lot of shots missed at the rim?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed shots at the rim based off of the contact.
Not you.
In certain situations. Yeah, I did. But that's where I tried to I developed a standard of trying to dunk everything around the basket because there's opportunities to where I would get fouls. I feel like I was kind of a magician around the basket because I used to do those flip-flop shots and use the spin, use the backboard. But Dent, man, those shots that he usually make, he doesn't miss those, and they were just too high off the glass. He's a great guy that uses the glass and nerves and pressure and having to score buckets in crucial moments, man, that it happens. It really does.
I think the Donovan Dent, some of the misses inside, you credit Michigan State, but dude, the Lobos outscored Michigan State points in the paint 42-36 and shot 53% in the second half.
Yeah.
So how many bunnies did they miss?
They came in the first half. And I specifically said
thought they
the
left
ones
points
that
on the court.
They did, and then you got to keep in mind they did not make shots, right? From the standpoint of jump shots
around halftime, right? 4 minutes before, 4 minutes out.
That's the game, right? I know we have to talk about the officiating because
not really.
Yes, you do.
Not really.
You made 3 more field goals than Michigan State, but they made 14 more free throws than you.
I mean, when you talk about this is where the respect comes in. It's Michigan State. This is where the Lobos had to do more. We've always had to do more to a certain extent to try and get over a hurdle like that situation because of the respect that they have.
So you're saying because it's respect, then the referees absolutely influence the game?
Yes. It was obvious. Obviously, there was...
Were there a lot of
Lobos shot 10 free throws?
Yeah, but were there a lot of calls that you look back on? Like everybody's telling me about that play at half court, Nelly's third foul.
Yeah,
Nelly hit his arm when the guy tried to pull him down after, but initially that was contact on Nelly. People are telling me it's the worst call ever. It wasn't. The foul on C.J. Nolan at the end of the shot clock.
It was a foul.
It was a foul.
Yeah.
The only one that I look at and I'm like, that was ridiculous was the Borovichinen foul. It was a late call. They were already going the other way, and they called the foul on the shot. I thought that one was crap. That was a crap. And were there a few missed ones? Could you call a foul on Dent going to the hole? look, there was a game, and I told JJ, there was the Utah State game. I pulled up the stats. Remember the game at the Pit? The Lobos won by 3 late in the season, the Utah State game.
Yeah.
Where you guys were all on the court.
Yeah.
Lobos, I want to say the fouls were like 25-11, right? They called it was a huge discrepancy. Utah State fan was losing their mind. There's nothing in the rule book that says the fouls have to even out.
Exactly my
right.
point.
And I JJ and I are a little different on this. Were there some missed calls? Yeah. Did the Lobos get the bad end of the whistle? I agree. They did. I don't know that I looked at it in real time and said that's absolutely egregious. Other than the Borovic one, and I don't have one play where I'm like, how do you call that or not call that?
The only one the third foul on Nelly.
Yeah, so that was the half court one.
Because you like his hand might have been on his shoulder. You can touch a player without it being foul.
And they let a lot more contact than that get away. They seem to let, and you tell me this, it will, JJ, I think they let more contact go in the paint than they do up top, right? When it's in the open court.
Yeah, and and that's my thing. The Lobos scoring at the end is
brutal.
It was brutal in the end of the first half. Not having another player step up, and we knew the format all year. When you have Mustafa, True, and CJ, you need 2 of those three guys to score to supplement it. They didn't have that. But part of my discussion, I don't want to blame the referees, but you want to ask the question, all right, what was it? Was it the fact the Lobos couldn't handle the physicality, so they started fouling late in the game, and the pressure from Michigan State? Were they not getting inside with other places enough? That's where, too, I think you need to look at the film, the game tape, and discussion. Okay, all right, what was it that in the first half, Michigan State shoots 10 free throws. In the second half, they shoot 18.
Well, I totally agree with you when it comes to not blaming the refs. Obviously, the Lobos could have gotten calls, right? But when you have Amzil come out and get going the way that he was going, I feel like there could have been more opportunities maybe there if there was plays or whatever it may be. Maybe he was being passive later in the game,
I think you
right?
maxed him out.
To where, yeah. And then I expected Phillip, who played pretty good, right? I wanted them to come out and make at least half their shots that they made in the first game, to where it didn't come down to the Lobos feeling the pressure of having to score because of the droughts that they go in sometimes, because who's going to be that person that stepped up? I love the fact that True was being aggressive.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's setting the tone, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but he did make a shot. Look, I think you maxed out Amzil. He was 6 for 8. I think you got what you could get out of him, and he was terrific early, and you needed him.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I thought the biggest play of the game, and this isn't referees. It's a 3-point game. JJ was about 3.5 minutes to go. Dent's got the ball, and Holloman steals it from him. And they go the other way, and it's a 3-point play, and you go up by 6, and New Mexico called timeout. I thought that was to me, that was check, please. Like that was you had possession. It was under 4. It might have even been 2.5. And I need my baller to make a big play, and their guy took the ball and went the other way, and that wasn't referees. There was no foul there.
Izzo came out and said, if there wasn't a guy, there was always going to be a guy that's close to Dent that wasn't the guy guarding him. He said it. And that's exactly what they did. So they were trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Look, man.
To where he had to share the ball in the first half, which was great.
You don't have to be Tom Izzo to say, if I'm scouting New Mexico, JJ, you and me, we're not Kenny Thomas or Tom Izzo, right? How would you scout New Mexico? Put a second guy, make sure Dent's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right?
I thought they would have went into a zone too, but they
didn't need to.
They didn't have to.
They didn't need to. Kenny Thomas is here. We're kicking it with Kenny.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, it's you look in the opportunities. CJ Noland and True Washington, if better games, then you're probably closer.
Yep.
And then you're going back and forth in the final minutes because they got good games out of 2 of 3 of those guys against Marquette and pulled away 1 at the end.
And Nolan was huge against Marquette. I mean, we haven't talked about the good, right? The Marquette game was so good. Nolan was terrific. True Washington was terrific. Donnie was good when it mattered. I was telling JJ, I got a buddy who was texting me, Dent's killing us. He's costing us a game. Get him out of the game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And at the end of the game, I'm like, you still want to pull him?
Yeah.
Like, he had 21 points, and he led you down the stretch.
He was still they were all phenomenal in that game. And it's just one of those things to where if you just had a little bit more of that carry over to the Michigan State game, And you got to keep in mind, being a starter and being a player that's playing consistent minutes, it's hard to play 2 games in 3 days, too. You got to keep that in mind.
Do we agree Michigan State's one of the best 7 teams in the country? You don't?
I don't know, man.
You got 7 teams better than Michigan State? You may give me the onesies. You may say Auburn, Alabama, Duke, and Florida.
Houston.
And Houston. All right, I got 5.
Yeah. I don't think that Michigan State was as good as they have been
made
Michigan
out
State
to be. Solid
bases.
and deep and disciplined and long.
But look at the way the Lobos played, though. If they would have made a couple shots and they would have been right there.
Yes, they were right there. They were right there all day. They were.
You see what I'm
That's what I'm saying. They played with them. Michigan State, to me, and there's no. I just don't think there's a disgrace in saying that. People ask me what happened. Lobos played really well. I just think Michigan State's a little bit better than New Mexico. They're just a little deeper, a little longer, a little. There's just look what they got off their bench.
They finished down the stretch.
That's all.
That's all. That's really all it was. They just finished.
Is it like? Am I? I'm not disparaging New Mexico
they
by
got
saying
beat
they're
by a better team.
That's all I'm saying.
And even though Michigan State made it look so bad for the Lobos at times in that game, like it was almost impossible for them to create any offense. It was 71-63. Like, you didn't get blew out the belt.
No, in fact, you're winning for a good chunk of that game.
Yeah.
You didn't embarrass yourself. And I know there's no moral victories, and nobody's looking for that. I think it gives you an idea of how close you might be, right? And I'm going to tell you this. The one thing, what have I told you? The one thing I didn't think the Lobos had this year? A sniper, right?
Yeah.
If they had a sniper,
yep.
To me, like one of those 6'4" to 6'7" wing shooters, right?
Even like a Clifford at Colorado.
Dude. Wow. I mean, there's not a lot of him either. Now,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Just a half of him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you can have a guy.
Let me give you like a Lake at Colorado. The kid who hit the big shot, like the Lake, their shooter.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a shooter like that.
Oh yeah.
Not even. Well, at this point in time, I don't care if he's 6'2" or 6'6".
Yeah, as long as he can make a shot.
6'3".
Yeah.
And
he's
to beat Memphis. And he was out. You just needed a shooter. But now, the biggest question for this team is, can they find a starting center?
Yeah.
Now you're going in the portal, right? Now you're going in the portal. All right, when we come back, we'll kick it with Kenny Longer. What does it mean moving forward? And one of Kenny's buddies just got a head coaching job in college basketball. I want to talk to him about that a little bit. Kenny Thomas is in studio. We're kicking it with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want
OD in the AM, Kenny Thomas is here, 505-246-0610. Wrapping up global basketball. All right, JJ said you got to go find a big guy.
Yep.
First things first, man. How do you feel? And look, you don't know any more than I don't think you do than any of us do. You read what you read. The biggest key to this NIL puzzle and transfer portal puzzle is who's going to be your head coach, right?
Yeah.
Does Richard stay? And if not, probably we're going to have a complete roster overhaul.
Yep.
If he does, probably you have a partial roster overhaul, right? This is the way it is.
It's just the way it is. This is the nature of the beast now. Back when I played, you transferred, you had to sit out.
That's right.
A year. And you only had 4 years of eligibility unless you had a red shirt. But I'm happy for these kids. I'm happy for the Lobos. I feel like they had a great they had an amazing season. Just wanted to get over that hurdle, right? And yeah, just got to wait and see what happens.
Mud, you're on The Sports Animal with Kenny
Mud.
Thomas. What's up, Mud?
Mud.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Listening to you guys this morning. Really enjoyed the game. I know everyone says that it wasn't the referee wasn't bad or whatever. I think it was pretty bad. But what I think that if Coach Patino stays, I think he'll have that sniper. He has two freshmen coming in. One from I think it's Washington State.
Yeah,
Perry.
the state of Washington. Yeah,
very good
Petty.
basketball player, man.
Yeah.
State of I don't know what state he comes from, but he's Mr. Washington.
Yeah, no, in Washington. He's from Seattle. Yeah, Jalen Petty. Yeah.
So I think if Coach stays, man, I mean they're going to be set for next year. Also, he needs to get a couple big guys. Maybe I don't know, go after a 7-footer.
Yeah, no, they will. They're going to be in the portal just like everybody else. There'll be 2,000 kids in the portal, and go find somebody. Yep.
Yeah, so I think they're set, man. As long as Coach stays, we're in good. We're
And
in
if
good
not-
shape for next year.
and
or
if not-
next coming season.
What if he doesn't?
That'll be it, man.
What if he doesn't, Mud? Then what?
If he doesn't, then we're going to be in a rebuilding for a couple of years at least. I don't know.
We'll see.
I think that the Pit's attractive enough to get another big name coach. So who knows, man? I mean, I want Coach to stay, but if he goes, I think the Pit's going to attract someone else.
No. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Let me ask you this, because I've said this, and Louisville fans anxious, and I get it. You got a good coach. Coaches come, coaches go, right? Athletic directors, players, it all happens. I think Richard's good. I like Richard. I think Richard's good people. I think he's done a hell of a job here. And I think that puts you in a position, if he leaves, you're going to attract a coach. I watched Josh Pastner. He's going to UNLV, the former Georgia Tech Memphis coach.
I saw that.
I think you're in a position, I don't really necessarily have a name for you. I got a few in mind, that you're going to be able to attract a coach. And if it happens quick enough, you can get in the portal and build a roster.
Yeah.
And that where you don't just fall off the cliff next
What are some of those coaches?
Well, I mean, they're just guys in my mind. I just don't know where Fernando is.
You have a brilliant mind, bro.
No, I don't.
I'm interested.
But I mean, where do you think I'm wrong as far as it's attractive enough? You've built it to a point where you've proven you can win here.
Well, obviously, there's coaches that are paying attention to what Pitino's doing. Everybody's seeing what this community is all about. It's a matter of getting somebody in here that knows this community and that's willing to invest in the community like Pitino's done, man. He's created a culture, which is a winning culture, and it's changing the whole dynamic of Lobo basketball. Because before a few years ago, I don't want to say a few years ago, but before Pitino and Alfred, where was Lobo basketball to a certain extent, right?
Where it was between Alfred and Pitino. Same place.
Yeah, so those were the guys that actually made Lobo basketball back to where it was. Think about the Richie McKays, great guy, but think about the guys that have come through here. I just want to get somebody that comes in that's willing to stay and invest. So.
What does willing to stay mean? How long?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Rich has been here 4 years.
It comes down to where you have to pay the man. And I feel like that.
But you can only pay so much. If Villanova's going to throw $4.5 million at you, what are you going to do?
And he's the East Coast guy from what I've heard.
Yeah, so what are you going to do?
Hey, he leaves. Hey, you just got to get ready for what's next.
That's all I'm saying.
I will say this, man. I feel like our AD, it's just the different vibe that he gives me, and I feel like the culture's still gonna start to develop and it's still going to be one of those things regardless of what happens.
Ralph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal with Kenny Thomas. What's up, Ralph?
Hey, man, not too much. I just want to say thanks for you, Jeff, and Kenny, and JJ, and Brandon, for all the effort that you guys do, bringing Lobo basketball back, bringing everybody interested in everything that you guys do. Thank you guys for bringing it all back.
That's nice
and maybe Kenny might look for coaching maybe one day.
Ooh,
say that again. Say that last part again.
I said maybe Kenny might be interested in coaching the Lobos one day.
See you, Ralph. Thanks for the
call. Ralph.
I mean,
there's some
maybe your buddy Mike Bibby just got a job. He played with Mike with the Kings, and he just got a job. Sacramento State hired Mike Bibby yesterday.
Deserved. Mike has done some great things at the high school in Arizona.
Did you set that guy up, by the way?
Who?
Ralph.
No, I did not. No, I did not set that up. But I will say this, Ralph. If I did coach at UNM, I tell you this: I always preach about somebody staying. I would not leave. I tell you that. And then when it comes to Mike Bibby, man, he started working for NBC, took my spot actually, but he's Mike Bibby, and I was able to play with him for a couple years in Sacramento. This is a guy that deserves an opportunity like this. His name's been brought up a few times before. The coach that was there, who's actually a friend of mine, that probably just got let go. I can't think of his name, Jesus. But yeah, Mike Bibby deserved, man. What you smelling at, Jay?
He's a friend of mine, but I forgot his name.
Yeah,
you were good, buddy.
The coach. I forgot his name. I'm drawing a blank.
You said the Warriors weren't done. They're above the play-in line. They're a game clear of the Clippers. They are in 6th place. 11 games to go. 2 points short of the 5 spot. You like them at the 6th spot right now?
Oh yeah.
That would be Warriors Nuggets in the first round.
and I still think the Warriors can win. I mean, the Nuggets are the Nuggets. Sorry, JJ. He has nothing to say to add to that. But, I mean, obviously it would be a battle, but it remains to be seen. The Sacramento Kings are in a nice spot right now, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Rockets end up unfolding once they get in because they've never been there.
Nuggets don't play any defense, so I don't think they're going to get anywhere in the postseason.
But they can score.
Anthony Davis was back last night. The Mavericks are tied, but on the wrong side of the tiebreaker with Phoenix for the last play-in spot. Who gets that last spot? So 2 out of the 3 are going to get in. Sacramento, Phoenix, Dallas. Who's left out?
It's going to be I think Phoenix gets left out.
Really?
Dallas is in. And obviously Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie. I got to go with him.
All right. Sacramento is a half game clear of both Phoenix and Dallas with 11 games left in the regular season.
There's all kinds of drama going on over there in Phoenix, right?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
With Kevin Durant. And the whole,
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's Budenhauser. I was able to be with him in San Antonio
You like
when I
him,
was
right?
down. I like him.
Yeah.
I've always liked
I
him.
got a buddy who played for him who loves him.
It's probably a power struggle right now, but he was down there with Pop when I was down there, when I used to go down there with the Spurs for my last 6-7 years, for 2 months before the season started.
Yeah. All right. Gut feel. What when you sit here Friday, who's the coach of the Lobos?
Patino.
Okay.
Patino.
I was asking JJ this earlier. So Lobo fan, you're either one way or the other. The longer this goes, because Kevin Willard, the Maryland coach, is another coach's name is in this, and they're still playing. Kevin Willard's buyout at Maryland is $4 million. Patino's buyout, according to this story in PHL Sports, is $750,000. Buyout goes down after April 1st. So Lobo fans either thinking the longer it goes, the better it is. They're waiting for someone else, or they're freaking out because the buyout goes down. To make you feel better or worse the longer this thing drags out?
Worse, obviously, the longer this drags out. But obviously, we want to know what's going on right away.
Portal's open.
Hey, as long as those kids on the Lobos are not jumping in the portal, just keep in mind there's still hope, and there's still something there. Just feed off of what just happened, and let's just see how it rolls out.
He's Kenny Thomas. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you on Friday.
Of course. Yes, sir.
All
Thank you, guys. Thanks, JJ.
I would say listen to him after every Lobo game and do that next season starting in November over on News Radio KKOB. But you guys had a hell of a run, by the way, with that show.
Thanks. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate the support and texting me and all that. And then I want to...
Boy, your callers were slurring drunk on Sunday night. No, JJ, some of them were literally slurring drunk on your show.
And then one of my callers, Scott, came in and... no, I don't think it was Scott, but somebody said, hey, the people that are spending $20 on fireball shots, you can take $20 and put it in the 505SVF.org. But I'm going to leave with this, but I got to give a shout out to my sponsors. Thank you so much for the support for Lobos Live. Glassrite, Holman's, Mark Diamonds, The Landing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. Thank you.
All right, he's Kenny Thomas. We'll come back. I got a bunch of correspondence from UN Lobos basketball, the latest on what's going on today, what you got to know, news that's hitting actually this morning as well. It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
So we're picking up new stations.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion.
1.25 next year, 1.3, 1.35, 1.4. And then contracts years end March 31st. Today's the 25th. So the buyout before April 1 is $750,000. However, Patino buyout totals are cut 50% if Eddie Nunes is no longer the athletic director. So I think it's only $375 right now. And it stays, it would drop to $250 on April 1st. I mean, that's nothing, man. I don't think that Villanova's, you think Villanova's going to wait over $125,000 buyout? If he's their dude.
I think they're waiting over
Kevin Willard?
Kevin Willard's decision.
Kind of feels that way, right? All right. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Jeff said, agree with you. I don't think the refs caused any problems for us. Michigan State was just more physical inside, and our shots weren't going because our guys aren't used to that kind of physical play inside. That's why Dent's shots were just not falling, because he had to adjust. Second half, Dent forced some plays against bigger guys inside, sometimes against 2 and 3 guys. Izzo always has his teams ready for March. Michigan State definitely one of the top 8 to 10 teams in the tournament. I'm unaware of any big jobs that I think Patino would take right now. Are there any big jobs open? Did you guys have already talked about that, or did I miss? Yeah, the Villanova's the one to look at. Villanova, his name's all around every report you see on Villanova. They paid their last coach $4.4 million a year. I mean, that's the one you got to be worried about, right? Well, that's all. All right, 505-246-0610. Dan says they better get NIL figured out and fast, Jeffrey and Juan Jose. The faulty argument is these players are making so much money for their schools, they need to share the George Washingtons. They really don't, because that money pays for women's volleyball and golf programs. The next talking point is, why should CBS make all the moolah from the NCAA tournament? ESPN from the bowls. That money needs to go to the players instead. That could change the landscape drastically. I don't know that they're making money to survive. Like, they're making money as a business. Should ESPN, Turner, CBS not make money? They pay the way. Let me explain how this works. They're not making money off of that. In fact, they pay the NCAA for the rights fees. They pay each bowl for the rights fees. So if you go back and look what CBS and Turner are paying the NCAA, it's in the billions for the right to televise the tournament. So they're not making money off of that. Then they go sell the ad time to AT&T and to whomever is, Capital One. That's how the networks are making their money back. They're not making money off the in fact, they're paying for the right to broadcast. Harold says urine trough. What about Lobo volleyball? Here we go. Harold, nobody cares about volleyball. I don't think the coach cares about Lobo women's volleyball more than Harold. Jeff, we hear about money for Lobo football facilities. What about Lobo volleyball? What about it, dude? Johnson Gym's an old dump. You laugh about a urine trough. The last one was just removed from Johnson 5 years ago. You still have open toilets without partitions in some restrooms. Wait until summer when there are trash cans everywhere to catch the monsoon rain from the leaking roof. Everybody should have a good facility to play in. Yeah. Matt talks about a sniper for Lobo basketball. Jeff, you're describing Braden Applehans. Where was Braden the second half of the season? Was it just defense? Because if so, I don't think he was a major liability defensively, and his shooting is inarguably better than Borovicin's. Do you think Braden Applehans was under-minuted? I mean, he would hit a shot here and there. Was he their best shooter? Did he ever go on a hot streak? Did he ever, I think Braden Applehans has a shot. Is he your dude?
That one, to me, I look at the rotation, and the question is, right, was it a defensive issue? Because you look at probably Borovic, right, the wing trying to get some minutes, but you also got to pull the trigger when you're on the floor. And is there too much hesitation? Braden was there. Do they just need to run some specific sets for when he's on the floor? Sure. But I also look at this team this year, and I understand why Pitino did what he did with that 7-man rotation, man. Won 17 Mountain West Conference games, got to the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, Braden hit some shots. I just don't know that he's the sniper that was going to shoot you back into games. 505-246-0610. Good morning, Ken. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Good. Thanks, guys. I think the longer this plays out, I think it's better news because if they wanted each other, this thing would have already happened.
I think so.
What's happening, and like you were saying, the buyout, well, that's not that big of a deal. What's bigger deal than the buyout on Monday, which is what, is going to happen at Maryland, is the transfer portal. Villanova is going to give Pitino every chance in the world to get transfers. So why would they wait
I think that's a good point.
To basically say, we're just going to save $200,000?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. You're putting Pitino in a precarious position by basically 7 days he can't go up to Villanova. So I don't think that's an issue at all. I think this is not a marriage that is functioning right now because either Pitino is having cold feet or they're waiting for the Maryland coach.
Or they haven't offered they haven't offered him the job yet.
If they are waiting for the Maryland coach, how does that make Pitino feel? Pitino's in limbo for 7 days with his own players, his own program, his own transfer recruiting. So does Pitino just wait around and say, "Oh yeah, I'm second choice and I'm okay with that"?
I don't know. At $4.5 million a year, you might be okay. Yeah, at $4.5 million a year, you might be okay with it. I'm just saying.
Well, but you're assuming that money is everything for everybody. If that's the case, he wouldn't have taken the New Mexico job. He could have just been unemployed and got more money.
No, that's true.
Getting paid by Minnesota.
That's true.
So I don't think money is everything. Everybody talks about money. Yes, that's
it's
important.
Something. It's
don't
something.
Get me wrong.
No, I don't think it's everything. I think it's something. I don't think it's everything.
It has to be a fit, and it has to be a good fit.
Yep.
And if the fit isn't there, and you can't, if you look in the crystal ball and you sit there and go, this is probably not going to work for me, even though I'm getting $1 million or $2 million, I'm going to get fired in 3 years. Then my reputation is going to get a hit, or I could stay for a raise, $1 million raise or more at New Mexico, over 2.1, according to Jeff Grammer, and I can wait a year till the Mountain West dissolves.
I agree. There's a year buffer. Yeah, there's a 1 year buffer. I don't think any coach goes into anything thinks, so I'm going to get fired in 3 years. Every coach goes into something so they're going to succeed. So I don't think anybody's going into it thinking, well, I'm going to get fired in 3 years, and if I do, I walk away. Like Alford walked away with $16 million. right?
Yeah,
But I agree with you. There's a year buffer.
It's not like I'm going to get fired. It's a thing that they say, I've got to look at everything. These are very, very smart people. They look at everything. They look at every single investment into the program. They look at everything. And if Villanova is dragging their feet because they want somebody else than you, Pitino's not going to sit around and go, oh, I'm feeling the love here, and I don't care what they do, I'm still going to take the job. I mean, he is a guy that's going to be like, I've got to find out something really quick here because you're delaying my whole career here at New Mexico with transfers. Not saying he won't go, but I'm just saying it's not about the buyout. That is peanuts.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. I agree with him that it's not about the buyout. I mean, if we're talking the difference between $375 and $250 for Villanova, like if that's your guy, go get him. Right? I agree with that. Now, do I think it's about money? It's always about money. Is it all about it? No, I don't. If Richard was about money, he would have taken a job before this. It's got to be. I agree with him. It's got to be the right fit. Now, Villanova, you tell me if it is or not. Right? But I don't think any coach goes into this thing thinking, oh, well, if I get fired in 3 years, well, I made $16 million or whatever. Maybe they do. It's the opening drive. We'll wrap you up when we get back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
$38 coaching changes so far. 14 jobs are open. That matters to you. Xavier, VCU, Villanova, Penn, Navy, McNeese, Fordham, Drake, Denver, Colorado State, Arkansas State, Alcorn State. That's what's open right now.
West Virginia.
Did I say West Virginia? I missed on West Virginia. It's the opening drive, Jeff and JJ 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Mike says on Applehan's, you got to defend. Oh, my email just completely restarted. You got to defend as well, he says. He might have scored a few threes, but he gave up more on the other side of the field. Okay. Matt says, Jeff, I'm beginning to get annoyed. My reaction is usually to not believe everything you hear and give benefit of the doubt to Richard Pitino. However, it's known that he received a substantial offer from UNM that reportedly included everything he wanted or asked for. And he's not embraced it. Assume not, or we would have heard by now. It's also pretty evident that he's floating his name and discussing openings with just about every AD on the hunt, starting to hurt this guy's feelings. I get that we aren't the pinnacle of college basketball, but we're a proud and supportive fan base, and nobody likes to feel the wronged spouse. And when these rumors are incessant and for every freaking opening out there without any denial or commitment to UNM from Richard Pitino, the unspoken message is that he doesn't value us as much as we value him. Maybe I'm way off base, but it's beginning to erode my feelings of goodwill. Poop or get off the pot. I do understand that he doesn't owe anybody an explanation, nor need to comment on every unsubstantiated rumor. But this year is different than years past because he has chosen to not sign the substantial offer in front of him. Yes, there are a lot of uncertainties around college athletics. The future of the Mountain West Conference and at UNM, that might justify wanting to look around. But we are a small market franchise. Our fundraising is a lot of grassroots kitchen table giving, not to overlook huge donations made by a few key people. Generally speaking, and compared to many other programs, we are not funded by mega wealthy alumni. I think he should honor the support he has received by either being a little more discreet or a little more transparent. It's from Matt. JC, do we know that there's an offer on the table?
One, we don't. So I can't confirm or deny that. There's a lot of back and forth where you think maybe I'm being too sensitive here. Rich Pitino does not have to address every single Twitter post by every person out there that wants their school to sign him.
Or one person, yeah.
He doesn't have to do that. So you said he doesn't need to do that, but at the same time, you're upset in that same email. Like, it's not his job to have to come out every 30 minutes and go, oh, Nova fan 728 said I'm the favorite for that job. No. Like, he's been honest. He's been open about it. He's not going to put his foot in his mouth like Steve Alford and have to live with that for the rest of his career. Where you don't mess with Happy. Because that's all Lobo fans do is throw that at Steve Alford. He's saying that every rumor that comes out there doesn't mean he's looking. People write stories about the connected coaches that are out there. And when you have a good coach, his name is going to be in those stories, and he doesn't have to, every 27 minutes, get on Twitter to deny something.
I think what Matt's saying is just say you're not leaving. And I don't believe he can say that.
And I wouldn't want a coach to just say that. And then, oh, by the way, this changed in 2 weeks, and now I'm leaving. And then you have that.
Yeah, you just said you're not leaving. Yeah.
It's Steve Alford.
Or say, and I think it's kind of what he's saying in his own way, that I'm not going to be here forever. And if the right opportunity comes along, then I'm going to have to take it and hope you appreciate that. And if you don't,
I don't even think he has to say that, man. It's a given.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of what he's saying without saying it.
Yeah.
Right? Just like, Matt, I don't know what you do, but I'm going to assume, it's something, if you get a better offer to do what you do somewhere else, you might listen.
What Richard Pitino has done is credit this fan base. It's bring back expectations to Lobo basketball. It's acknowledge the fans in any environment he's in. He says, hey, rumors are out there. Doesn't mean I'm looking to leave all the time. And he doesn't have to, every 30 minutes, get on Twitter to make you feel good about yourself.
Because there's a lot of rumors, man. And like I tell you all the time, everybody with a thumb or thumbs has an opinion and throws stuff out there.
Like, he's honest. He's open about investment, about the future of the Mountain West Conference. But he's dug in right now with this program. And if things change, they change. But I get it from a fan standpoint, but I don't look at anything and say, oh, he's losing goodwill or he needs, dude's brought you back to relevancy.
JJ, if there's a big in the portal that he can get, and I got to believe there is, okay? And if you can hold on to Denton, Washington, and then fill pieces, I got to believe he feels he's got another run in him, right? I've been telling you, I think there's a 1-year buffer on this. If we're sitting here 365 days from now, I think we're having another conversation because that's the end of the Mountain West Conference as we know it, right? And he's made it very clear how he feels about the new construct of the league. Now, does the runway get shorter next year? Yeah, and you don't have no idea what jobs are going to be open next year. I don't see him going to. I don't want to throw stuff out there. The only one that I really think that fits, and I don't know him that well that I can sit here and tell you what fits or what not. Like if West Virginia came at him, would he go? If West Virginia came at him, would he go to West Virginia? I don't know. It's Big 12. It's probably a bunch of money. It's probably $4 million.
Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm sure there would be people that before he came to Albuquerque, New Mexico, are like,
right,
Pitino in Albuquerque, no way.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, the Villanova job feels like a fit. Again, I don't know him, and I don't know Villanova intimately. East Coast, Big East, lots of money, high-profile school. Basketball-centric. With resources. Feels like it.
But it also, like you said, if this core, you got, Dominant Chu Washington, Phillip, Jovan, like that core, with portal players, they're going to land a starting forward, starting center.
Promise.
They're preseason favorites in the Mountain West Conference.
I mean, as we sit here today, who the hell knows what it looks like? San Diego State's going to attract portal guys, too.
San Diego State's going to get some play. They're going to do the same thing they've done, get some guys under the radar that will develop. They'll be good. I'm sure Utah State will be feisty, but you're going to have a chance to be right there in contention again.
Yeah, so I think there's a 1-year runway. I understand why you're all nervous, and I get it. I do. We'll watch it, and we'll play it, and we'll hold on, right? Thank you to Kenny Thomas and Forrest Stoltling of the Isotopes for coming by. The Herd with Colin Coward is next. Jim Rome shows after that. 2 Men On is in at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We'll start at 7 a.m. Adrian always looks good on the visuals. Thank you for that. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Have a great, safe Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? It's Tuesday. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow, which will be Wednesday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as